and then obviously she, you know, her and Miles start, you know, they live together and he has some red flags in the beginning. We'll say it. Is it, and you said, obviously you focus on having the strong female characters. Do you ever find it difficult to make him, the male character in this case, Miles, likable? Or like, how do you balance his flaws when like making them into like this perfect book boyfriend that everyone is going to talk about?
Yeah, well, thank you. That's very nice. I mean, it is hard, but I also think I liked the challenge of it right away. Every book find myself trying to do something that seems like a little bit tricky to me. And with this, I loved the idea of starting with Miles at his lowest point and Daphne at her lowest point, and like playing with the humor of that, but also the challenge of then having to get the reader on board with the idea of Daphne and Miles possibly becoming more than friends when they've seen him just like sobbing and hotboxing in his room watching Bridget Jones over and over again. Like that is a journey. And that felt like a really fun challenge versus like, you know, establishing a really like sexy, alluring male lead right off the bat. But I also think in real life, those are the relationships that end up affecting us the most. And like the attraction that ends up going the deepest is that kind of grown thing where like the more you know someone, the more you love them, instead of like, oh, you were so shiny up front and then ultimately so disappointing. So I liked the challenge of it. And as far as balancing it, I mean, I was worried. I didn't know how readers would ultimately feel about Miles. So I just had to trust Daphne's feelings. I had to trust the moments when Daphne started to feel the way that she did about him and believe that, you know, maybe not all readers, but enough readers would feel the same way as they got to know him and understood what parts of him were defense mechanisms and, you know, what parts of him were more like her hangups than his issues, I would say.